Welcome in, everybody. What a great, what's that called? Singing? Scatting. It was more of a scat, like a jazz scat. I like that.
I didn't know we were on.
Oh, you're on. 4 espressos, and I made it. Yay. Hey, welcome in, everybody.
I didn't know we were on.
I think you did, deep down.
I didn't.
I think you have an internal, switch that happens.
I didn't understand
I didn't understand.
that we were on.
Oh, we're always on.
So now I'm slightly embarrassed.
No, don't be embarrassed. Be proud.
I'm slightly embarrassed.
Jason, I don't think you're embarrassed.
Tech Daddy says you have a desire to be in the spotlight. Wait.
Boo-doo-boo.
A desire to be in the spotlight? Do you realize what this whole setup is?
Do you realize?
If not a spotlight?
Right.
I've been in this same spotlight for 10 years. It ain't doing much for me, but I've been here.
Wow.
How's everybody doing? Welcome to Friday.
Hey, Rattlecan, Wad, Tech Daddy, Colossal Meltdown,
What?
Jimmy the Saint. No, that's Colossal Meltdown.
Oh, I thought you said I was having a colossal meltdown.
No, Colossal Meltdown is here. Scorched Earth, General Ginkgo, Travel Cedric, M3 Stout, Paint Liquor, Wirehead, Mo, Kitty Soul, Tunerman. We're so happy you're here. And Travel Cedric, by the way, hold on.
We're painting a thing. I'm painting a thing.
Thank you so much for that sub. 28 months. It's wild and a lie.
I'm painting a thing.
Jason, what are you painting?
The thing.
Oh, the vest.
I got to paint the vest and the pants. And so if you have not seen the cover art, which you probably haven't, this is the cover art.
Oh, yeah.
So while I'm doing the leather a little differently, I really like the loud nature of his whole garb.
Oh, he's got checkered pants,
Oh,
too.
he's got checkered pants.
That's very goblin-y of him.
So I'm doing checkered pants.
You're going to do checkered pants?
Yeah, I might not do it in the same, like, lavender, light blue.
Checkered pants. That's getting dangerously close to plaid.
And I'm going to do striped vest. Because stripe and checker should never, ever be intermixed.
But
and
somehow it works.
And yet here we are. And the blue scarf with the red. He's definitely a goblin.
It works.
Definitely a goblin. And the yellow band on the hat to go with the vest. He's definitely got some issues.
Mo says hot pink plaid pants?
No.
Oh?
No. That's not what we're doing.
That was my one attempt for you, chat.
We're not doing
follow
it.
you.
Doesn't matter.
Lumberjack says, good spot for hot pink plaid.
Doesn't matter.
Why not blue plaid? There's a lot of plaid questions.
Hey, we'll just do what we want to do, chat.
That's right.
How
Welcome in.
How about that? How about you worry about you, and I'll worry about dude's pants.
Well, it's technically a single pant.
Oh, it is pant.
That was a test for all of you, and
It
you were
is not
supposed
a pair
to
of
correct
pants.
us.
It is only one pant. A pair of pants would be if he had another one.
Belial, when will you guys be coming out with the striped paint?
We're gonna
TBD.
a year from 2 days ago.
A year from 2 days ago. Wow. Seems like an eternity that Jason came out with beautiful product.
That old cat. What are you doing on
That
here?
old, whoa, let's see some New York Yankees pinstripes on those pants.
What are you doing on here?
Fill up. Welcome in.
What are you doing, Phil?
Club me. Hello, my one-step special sauce order arrived today. Looking forward to play with them. Any tips or tricks for one-step special sauce, Jason?
Lots.
I'm eating soup and watching you paint. Perfect.
Lots.
Okay.
What kind of soup?
What
kind of soup?
chicken noodle?
Chicken noodle?
I'm guessing.
Chicken noodle?
I made wonton soup.
Ooh, really? That sounds good. Chris and I just had lunch.
We did.
We had breakfast for lunch.
We did. Actually, it was a delicious burrito.
Did you enjoy your burrito?
I did.
You had a breakfast burrito?
Actually, it was really good.
What was it? Potato?
It was potato. There was sausage. There was egg. A little bit of cheese.
All the things.
A little bit of hope.
A little bit of hope?
You get it?
Excuse me?
It
Oh,
was-
it's Hope's Brunch House.
When you messaged me this morning, I almost said, "Do they serve up hope?"
Oh, they serve Hope all right.
They did. So what's your ratio, Jason, for special sauce?
I've been saying 2 or 3 to 1
2 to 3 to 1
for special sauce, right? I think that if the color you're using with it is more opaque, like coal black or
Okay.
titanium white, that you might put a little bit more in, right? Because you're fighting the opacity of the paint. But I felt like my consistency has been very similar across all colors. And like I said, I think 2 or 3 to 1 medium to paint is the sweet spot. It's really, really simple to use. It's what I call a low cost mix because number one, not a lot of brain space needed in complicated ratios. And it is a cheap amount of medium. You don't have to put a whole lot in it. You're not slamming half a bottle in with your paint to make it work.
Low cost mix.
It's magic. Just magic.
So we're doing what color is that, Jason?
This is Prussian blue.
Prussian blue.
Prussian blue.
For all of you who are here for the challenge review,
What?
we hope that you're also here for the painting. But we will be doing the challenge review later in the stream. March challenge review.
If you're lucky.
And then we'll be going over the April challenge, so stay tuned. And that Chai Cat, thank you for 10 months.
If you're lucky, I'll be doing a review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got him.
Got him. What am I? Some monkey that just dances all the time?
Blue and blue. No. You sing, you dance. You do a lot of things.
What am I? Some monkey?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
You say dance, monkey, dance all the time.
I say you will dance. I don't say dance, monkey, dance.
No, you pretty much say dance, monkey,
I
dance.
don't know. No, you're right, Lumberjack. There is no singing. He's just dancing.
Wop bada loo bop, wop bam boom, tutti frutti.
Don't do that.
Oh,
We don't own these
Rudy.
songs.
Tutti frutti.
Don't take us down, YouTube.
Oh, Rudy.
Twitch doesn't care.
Tutti frutti. Oh, Rudy.
How to
Wop
best
bada
store.
loo bop, wop bam boom.
Pizza Max says, how to best store your airbrushes in between painting. I was using a tube to keep it wet with a washcloth and the metal disintegrated.
Yeah, don't leave
Ooh.
your brush dry.
Okay.
Depending on how hard your water is, what kind of mineral content is in the water, that can have a real detrimental effect to leave water in the brush itself.
We don't leave water in our brushes
No,
here.
Arizona water notoriously bad.
We are the copper state.
Calcium, heavy metals in the water probably. So it doesn't bode very well for the health of your brush long term to leave it wet. So you want to dry it out. Leave it. I typically will pull the needle back so that the needle is not sitting in the nozzle opening anymore.
Yeah.
And then the general airbrush holders that all let the point face a little bit downward at an angle. Then any moisture drips out the tip because the needle isn't clogging the tip up, right? Because with the needle full forward, liquid won't come out.
Got it.
So if you pull the needle back to where it's no longer in the nozzle and then tighten it back up and then point the brush downward, then it'll drain any moisture that is left in it after you clean. So if you got your brush and if I take not the whole thing, just this thing. Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
What the what? Okay, there we go. What the what? So if you take just the needle chuck, loosen it up, right, and pull, if you can zoom in.
Yeah.
You see the needle coming out the end?
Yeah,
just
yeah.
pull it back to where the needle's no longer showing.
Oh, okay.
Right? And that will, you can be aggressive and pull it back to where you can see it down in the cup here if you want. Right?
Yeah.
But pull it back to where the taper starts showing.
Uh-huh.
And then you're good. And then, tighten it back up and leave it. And when it's at that angle, then any moisture can kind of flow out the nozzle and stuff. You might have to clean like around here if you do it that way, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal.
There you go.
That's pretty good.
Moose says, especially Phoenix prized tap tea. It's something. That's a funny way to say it.
The what?
The tap tea.
Tap tea?
Like the...
Oh, tap tea.
Yeah.
Because it looks like tea.
Yeah.
It's kind of brown.
It's something that I wouldn't drink.
Yep.
And that's saying something.
When you go to a restaurant in Arizona and they give you tap water, it feels like a personal affront.
Feels like they should be paying you.
Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute. Am I supposed to pay for the food here? Because you gave me tap water.
Next question. Where can I get a sweet cushion for the plunger of my airbrush?
That's a
asks.
Grex that we use. I think they sell the bright green ones that they have.
The little toppers?
The black was a custom one that they did on our airbrushes.
Right.
Because their normal rubber grip and everything are black. Or,
Right.
I'm sorry, are bright green, that Grex green.
Right.
But we partnered with Grex for a number of years and made our own line of airbrushes. We stopped doing that this last year. And we still have some of the
remnants,
the cushions and things like that laying around.
So what kind? So you said you're doing checkered pants?
Checkered pants.
What do you? I guess do you do?
Sorry, checkered pant.
Pant. Do you? I guess we'll see how you do your checkered pant.
You'll see.
We will.
You'll see.
I was just about like, how do you do checkered pant? But then I guess the answer is you just do it.
Well, yeah.
It's just
you just do
a labor of. Do you outline it first, and then you go fill in the squares?
Okay.
Great
question.
Am I getting too far ahead?
No, it's a great question, and we talk about this from time to time. When doing checkered patterns, it is not a good idea to do the lines and then fill in the squares.
Yeah, okay.
Why? I'm going to ask you, Chris, why is that not a good idea? You remember?
I don't remember.
There's a very specific problem that it creates when you do
No, actually, I don't remember. What's that?
So what happens is, here, I'll have to draw it to show you.
I got too quick. I got too far in the process here.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming, so I was like, maybe I should backtrack that question.
I'm going to have to reprime down there in between the legs. I didn't get good primer down in there. I need to draw it for you so you understand.
Yeah.
So it really hits home. Let me finish this. This Prussian blue on his pant. Prussian blue is such a good color. If you're doing Night Lords, you filthy heretics, you should always be starting with Prussian blue. Filthy heretics. I don't know if anybody remembers, but I started listening to the Gaunt's Ghost series again.
Yeah.
And in doing so, it's been interesting because you get so used to characters throughout that series of novels. They're really good.
Right.
And I'm reading Necropolis, which I think is like book 3.
Okay.
And it's where we get all the Vervan hive people, the Vervites or whatever they call they wind up making up a huge part of Gaunt's Ghosts.
Okay.
Because they inherit all of these people that are like miners and workers and conscript military people from this hive world. As the Vervan hive gets turned into a necropolis, it's basically chaos overthrows it. And so they inherit all of these people that refill the ranks of Gaunt's Ghost after the combat. And it's funny because that's how I remember it. And then I'm now reading the book again where all of these people are new and aren't part of Gaunt's Ghosts anymore. And I forgot all about that, so it's pretty funny. Yeah, Necropolis is one of the best books in the series by far. The first 2 books in the series are a little rough because they kind of go out of order, and then the second book just kind of sets up a deal that kind of falls short, but Necropolis is really where the Gaunt's Ghost series takes off. That's where you start to fall in love with characters and they start to have tons of personality. Like Try Again Bragg already did and all that stuff, but book 3 is where it comes to life. You took a class with Duff, and he said something about cloudy white glazes has to do with zinc interacting with fluoride and other things in tap water. Does that seem like a reason to switch to using distilled water? No, I don't buy that at all. Not to disparage Duff, but no. I literally glaze with the worst water on the planet.
Well, and sometimes...
Now that they fixed Flint, Michigan's water, Phoenix has got to be the worst.
Did they fix it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Supposedly, Flint has now been relined. All those miles of pipe have been relined, and Flint has better water. Somebody, fact check me on that, but I read that not too long back. We have like literally the worst fluoridation and stuff like that. But no, you can glaze with just about anything. I mean, you could glaze with titanium white if you're worried about zinc, but no, it shouldn't have any problem at all.
Kitty's saying, I'm getting ready to start my Space Wolves and wondering what a good base color would be to start off with if I'm doing darker than typical powder blue. I want something to accomplish something more of the Heresy color scheme. Any suggestions would be most appreciated and helpful.
I really like Payne's Gray. Payne's Gray is a deep blue, nearly black, and that's where I would start.
Oh, you can't go wrong with Payne's Gray.
Yeah, Payne's Gray is just really, really good, and it allows you to then move into a more bluish or grayish tone, and both work very well. Payne's Gray into dark gray blue, and then into like mixing in neutral gray or warm gray into that works really well for that kind of bluish but 30K gray, because Space Wolves in 30K are gray, and in 40K are that baby blue kind of color. I like it in between. Same way I like the Dark Angels to not be pure black like 30K. I put a little bit of green in it, but make that really dark.
Philip, where did Philip say this? Philip said, hot take. Phoenix water is good. It has flavor.
I mean...
Philip, I wouldn't drink that water.
Can we say no?
Don't drink the tap water.
Is it too late for us to say no? I feel like I don't even want that. Like, not even a little bit.
Belial says there's a video on YouTube by a pretty well-known YouTuber who states that primer is just, in quotes, regular paint, and that just seems like BS.
It is BS. Is it the recent video?
I don't.
The one where he goes through the history of GW? It has so much logical fallacy in it. I would love to talk to that guy in an interview. Like, he has no understanding of how to present his theory, because the amount of logical fallacy to go from, well, GW used to say you needed to prime, and then they said you didn't need to prime, or they said you didn't need to prime, and then they say you do need to prime, and blah, 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 blah. It's like at no point in his video did he even consider that technology changes, right? It's like at the time that GW first came out with their hobby paints and such, you wouldn't have been able to really prime because there was no such thing as a primer for models.
Yeah, it was just primer.
Well, it was like barbecue primer, if that even existed. You couldn't go into Home Depot and just buy primer in a spray can. That's just not how the world worked. It was all like HPLV, like spray gun stuff.
Oh, okay.
And it was all like heavy solvent enamels and lacquers.
In a spray can, right?
Well, that's why you didn't really see a lot of spray cans.
I see
back
what
then.
you're
Like,
saying.
people forget. People use the eyes of today when they look at history. Yeah. And so he's like, I go back and I look at the 1980s GW catalog or the 90s GW catalog, and it talked about just using the paint and not having to prime. And then this term priming comes out and da-da-da-da. And it's like, well, technology grew during that time.
Yeah.
Priming on its own is a very, very valid use. You would not have a car that you didn't start with a primer coat. You would not prime your house if you're painting it. All of these things are real. Does the color you roll on your house include a priming component in it, like a heavy urethane or something that has a heavier body grab or something? Could be. But the difference is sometimes like priming something that's made out of wood is so that you seal the wood,
right,
so that paint doesn't just soak into it the whole time, because that'll desaturate. You won't get color. You won't get you'll eat up way too much paint.
Yeah.
So priming has a lot of definitions, but when we talk about hard substrates like metal, plastic, resin, Priming is there to take what is otherwise a smooth surface and give it tooth, right? So that paint grabs onto it and doesn't slough off. Because over time, when you handle a model like a gaming miniature, paint would rub off. I had, at one point, some of the old GW catalog miniatures, and the one thing that would happen to most of them is that the paint would just peel off of them because they didn't prime those models.
Okay.
Studio painted models that were used in the catalog, and you could rub your finger on them, and the whole arm would just come off in a cylinder of paint with all the colored layers breaking it down to the metal.
Yikes.
Why? Because they didn't prime the models first, right? Because that's what primer does. Plastic is porous, resin is porous, the pop metal that we use to make miniatures out of is porous, all of that is porous. So a little bit of soak is going to happen at the primer level, but it uses a different urethane, polyurethane in the acrylic. So acrylic polyurethane that we're using, water-based polyurethanes for our primers are pretty typical in the water-based world, and they have a heavier final strength, you would call it, right, than the normal resins that we use for just paint. So they are very different products. I watched some of the video, if that's the one that I'm thinking about that was more recent, and I don't know what he was really trying to say, because like I said, there was so much logical fallacy in his statements because he wasn't taking a look at the fact that technology changed.
Yeah.
That we went from primers only being available in lacquers and enamels because it was like automotive, farm equipment, you know, your barbecue, things like that, into now new technologies that allow rattle cans to have very good lighter solvents in them, stuff like our Color Forge stuff that's an acetone based, things that dry quick and are still very solid. Even into acrylics where, you know, a model isn't a car. It's not put under the same weather and driving in traffic and rocks bouncing off of it like a car is, so we don't have to use heavy solvents, but you still need the grab of a primer. You really do. Now, can you paint a model like this one without primer? Sure, because you're going to put this in a frame and hang it on the wall, so it's never going to get touched and the paint, other than over time, cooling, warming, sunlight, no sunlight might bake it. You might have paint that eventually chips off, but, you know, under normal usage, you shouldn't have a problem with it. But for gaming miniatures and miniatures you plan on handling at all, prime it every single damn time. Don't listen to anybody that tells you different. They're just trying to get views. 100%. I don't care if you buy my primer. Go buy a rattle can primer, cheap primer from Tesco or whomever across the world you want to pay for it, but prime your models. Just make sure that if you are priming your models, prime it with a very matte finished paint, right? You don't paint. If you go talk to somebody that paints automotive, they don't prime with gloss or satin colors. That's not what primer is for. I've shown you a lot of times. It's for creating tooth on the surface. We're going to pull out a card here, and we can talk a little bit about that as well. Magic card, magic card.
Jason.
What?
Do you need a Sharpie for your magic card?
I would like a Sharpie. Do you have one that isn't freaking massive?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
I got it.
Nice. So,
the magic card.
So the first thing, and then we'll talk about the check pattern.
You want to
right?
come up? Let me read.
Yeah. So something like that.
There we go.
So surface of the model is smooth, right?
Yeah.
And so paint doesn't really it doesn't matter, like if you were to just paint the acrylic on top of this surface and it didn't have an edge, it was just flat like a canvas, and you paint the acrylic on it, it would eventually rub off because it doesn't have enough dimension to grab onto. Now, models being three-dimensional will have shape to them, and when you paint acrylic paint around the shape, it now kind of locks it in, right? So when you paint the model, as long as there's no open edge to your paint, then it locks it in, the paint grabs onto the paint, creates a skin over the model that in most situations won't just rub off, but over time it will. It'll become brittle because it doesn't have a good lock on here, because this smooth surface is not traditionally what you want to be painting on, right? So what a primer does when you lay it on there is it gives tooth, right? A matte finish, and I'm just going to draw it like a bunch of little hair, right? But what makes a surface matte, imagine we're looking at this through a microscope, right? What makes a surface matte is that it has a tooth. So if you were to look at it at a microscopic level, it has all these angles and facets on the surface that cause light to refract and bounce around in weird angles when it hits, which means that you don't see shine. That's what causes a surface to be matte, right? Now this is microscopic. Obviously, you don't feel this. Well, you do. I mean, matte. Everybody knows matte paint feels rougher than gloss paint. Right?
That's the grab.
It is the grab. It's the tooth, right? And so what does is it means that now you've created a tremendous amount more surface area. If we were to take this little section right here and blow it up, now you've got this, right, that has literally this kind of tooth on the surface.
Can you come up?
That has like that kind of surface on it, and it's not X's obviously, more like little V's. You know, but if you can imagine this texture on the surface, now when you paint, look at how much more surface area you have for that paint to grab on, because now in this section from here to here, you don't just grab this much surface, you grab this edge, this edge, that edge. So now it takes more paint to cover the model, right?
Yeah.
We're talking microscopic, but it gives more coverage, and it is sunken into a surface that now grabs. That's why we call it tooth. It grabs onto the paint and allows the paint to stick much better. This will survive, you know, rubbing and touching and things like that over time much better. Now, when we're dealing with 3D surfaces, if it's the point of a sword or a sharp edge, you always have the ability with your finger to rub paint off. There's nothing that'll protect that except more paint, making the layers thicker so you can't rub through to the bottom, especially on metal models and stuff. But that's the reason why we prime, period. That's why you prime a car. That's why you prime every solid surface that you'll ever paint if you're doing it correct. If you don't, just don't expect a lot of lifespan out of it. You just won't, right? Because that's not what acrylic paints are made for. And then when you start talking about things like inks and watercolors, well, they hardly have any resin in them, if any. They're meant to go into porous surfaces like canvas, paper, watercolor paper, right? That's why you can't really use watercolor efficiently on models, even though you might want to, because it doesn't have any resin in it. It doesn't stick. And even the resin itself isn't a guarantee. It's the added tooth of the primer. And that's why you don't use, if you see something that says it's a primer and it's gloss, it's also a paint.
Okay.
So barbecue paint that you get at the hardware store in the spray cans will be like gloss. It's meant to paint your barbecue. It has tooth and etching qualities to it, whether it's through an inclusion of chemical inclusion that kind of bakes itself onto the surface. And then it also cures with a gloss finish so that you only have to use the primer and you're done.
Got it. It's
not meant as a primer to then top coat. Because if you were going to use a gloss primer, you would have to literally sand it to scuff it to get tooth back on. That's why you'll see people in the world that when they're painting things, they'll lightly scuff it. Like people ask me all the time if you're painting Hot Wheels cars for Gaslands, cool game called Gaslands. If you're painting Hot Wheels cars for Gaslands, what do you have? Do you have to prime that car? A lot of times it has enamel paint on it already because Hot Wheels and Matchbox had the enamel paints on them. And so you can literally just take a light, like maybe a 6,000 grit or 2,000 grit sandpaper, and you can scuff it up. It'll make it look matte. It'll make the surface look matte. The color will stay, but it'll make like a shiny red car into a matte red car by scuffing the surface. Now that surface will act as a primer. So you can scuff the surface and not have to use primer.
Right.
But you're not going to scuff your model because all of those ins and outs and armpits and crotches, you're never going to be able to sand in there, right? And so it's the smooth plastic that you're trying to overcome. And paint that is very matte is the easiest way to do that because it's easy to apply, gives the tooth, and stays on the model longer. Okay.
Nice.
Now, checkerboard. The issue with checkerboard.
Oh, yes.
Right? So we'll do it at a fairly large level to kind of amplify the issue here. Right? Is that when we do this, and we paint our checkerboard on as lines first, and then we go in and fill in some of these lines, right?
Oh.
What happens? Can you tell me?
Well, it's not like you're not filling it in.
Well, I mean, you are. Let's say you're doing a good job. I just don't want to waste a ton of ink.
Oh, okay.
But what's happening here if I do this? Can anybody recognize the problem?
One square is bigger than the other, says Mo.
Correct. The squares you fill in will always be larger than the squares you didn't fill in. Because the squares you fill in gain the width of the line.
Gotcha.
Because the line acts as a border for those, but not for the ones you didn't fill in. Gotcha. So depending on how wide your brush stroke is, you've now made all of your squares that much larger in all four directions.
Got it.
So a lot of times when people paint that way and you do like black and white checks on your works, they'll paint the black checks in or they'll paint the white checks in, but one or the other, they look ununiform because all of one color will be much smaller than all of the other color, assuming your lines were all parallel and that you didn't have issues with making them smaller because your lines got too close. Because this line width acts as a border for all my black, so my black is instantaneously bigger than all my white. Now, if you're doing it at tiny scale or bigger scale, maybe you can get away with it because you've got very thin line. This pen does a very thin line, so it's not huge, but when we're painting, we typically are going to have more impact on that because we're doing it at tighter scale, and differences between large and small become more apparent to the eye very quickly. So be careful with that. I know it's frustrating, but the easy way to do it is to paint each square.
Yeah.
Right? And then attach another square to it. Right? Like this. It's hard. So if this is easier, do it. But if you're looking for perfection, it's much easier to paint each of the squares because then you get to judge how big the white square is, right? Because of how you're placing everything else around it.
Makes sense. Oh, okay. Got it. Nice.
Tic-tac-toe and hangman at the same time. Go, Chris.
I won't do it.
I won't do it.
What's going on, everybody? Nice. Okay. Got it. That makes sense, Jason. Eye-opening.
A lot of people say, boy, you're really being nitpicky. Yes.
Well, still.
Yes, but it just, I put these things out there not to tell you how to paint checks, but to tell you that if you're painting the higher level you're trying to paint checks at, you need to be aware of that because it would be something that as you go up in your skill, that it could be a detriment to you to do it in that way. It also allows you to do things like all of these are all painted square by square.
Yeah.
Right? On the faded checks like on Gazgul and stuff like that. I typically do them all square by square. We'll see on this guy if I do that.
Perfect. Oside says, hey guys, ordered one step set and medium. I was wondering if I could use one step medium with other paints, for example, golden soft flat.
We'll try it.
So
sure.
flat, not soft flat.
So flat, yeah. Yeah, feel free. We didn't specifically formulate it not to work with other people's stuff, but we did not test it, right, for other people's stuff. It is meant to work with any standard acrylic medium, but if somebody puts something weird in their paint, then all bets are off, you know. I'm not in charge of what Golden does with their paint, so. But it should work fine. You might just find that you are wind up mixing more or less medium in based on the brand that you're using. Just play around with it.
Agrippa, no, it was on sale during Adepticon on the EU site just to give the people across the pond a chance to get it while the Adepticon was going on. But they will be coming out in May, so keep an eye out. You're going to be getting a lot more information very soon about all this stuff. So
very soon.
Obviously, we've been seeing Jason paint with it, and you've seen all the colors announced and released. But over this next month, you guys are going to be getting a lot of good info. So stay tuned.
Yeah, we've been teasing you fairly well with all of this, and now it's about to get real. The feedback at the show was fantastic. People were really loving it.
Yeah.
One of the biggest feedback points we got was that it really feels like you've painted a model, not just slapped a wash on it.
Yeah. Right.
Which is huge. That was what I was going for. So unsolicited, people are getting it already, which I think is good. And then I'm excited to see all the stuff people do with the medium. Kenny got up there, and Kenny loves it. He's wet blending with it. He is super excited about everything that the medium can do.
Lord of the Hunt says, what is the next step after learning to paint in the lines as a beginner painter? Ooh.
Great question. And my initial instinct is to always say that you start then working on shadows and highlights. Once you get comfortable with being able to get the paint placed into, the small spots and keep it in the lines, like you said, then it's all about, okay, now how do I bring dimension back to it? What we call volumes, right? Because even though we're painting three-dimensional surfaces which have volume naturally, we're not relying on the light in the room to create volumes on our models. We're relying on the colors and values of the paint we paint with to do so. And so you're going to need to get good at understanding like how to make sure that every part of the model has a shadow and a midtone and a highlight. So we say a minimum of 3 colors on every part of the model.
Gotcha.
Right. And saying 3 colors is a hard one for people to get sometimes, because it doesn't mean that it's 3 different colors. It's 3 different values. Right. So like a dark red, a medium red, and a light red on these red spots would be the thing that I'd be looking for. But I could also do a red, an orange, and a yellow. So it can be 3 colors, but doesn't have to be.
Tech Daddy says, any preliminary suggestions for die-cast painting with monument medias?
Monument what?
Medias? Suggestion for die-casting painting with monument medias. You mean mediums? You might have missed that one.
Well, like I was saying a minute ago, if you're painting die-cast models...
Mediums, okay.
If you're painting die-cast models, then the biggest thing is to scuff the surface, get it prepped for the paint. Then it's like anything else you paint. You take away the mystique once you have prepped the surface right. Metal is just like painting plastic at that point. If I'm missing something and you're asking for a deeper solution, let me know. Like if you're trying to do something that I'm not grasping, let me know.
Tech Day says, okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, it really is just prep the surface right. Metal, plastic, it doesn't matter really what it is. Just make sure that you have the right grab for the paint. And that's what we talked about with tooth. Take sandpaper and scuff the model. You don't even have to prime it in a lot of cases with metal. If it already has a coat of paint on it, just scuff that coat of paint, and that coat of paint will become a primer. Like I said, that's just hard to do on plastic models because you can't sand. Like I can't sand inside all the details on this. Generally, die-cast models don't have this kind of detail. They're like cars, planes. The most intricate detail that I have is like panel lines on the side of an airplane, or the little indentions where the car doors are and stuff like that. And so you probably want to get a sanding stick so you can sand in there, because one of the problems when over painting die-cast cars especially is that the little line where the doors are, right, is sunken in. It's a panel line.
Yeah.
And if you just sand the top of everything and then you paint it, then the panel lines don't absorb the paint very well. It slides off. And so you get a good coat of coverage, and then you have the die-cast color underneath. So you do need to get like a sanding stick so you can sand down in the crevices too.
Gotcha. Avian says, why do I agree with Jason and then realize it's been almost a decade of grappling with the subject? Don't mind me. I'll go lick the wall now.
What do you mean? Like you've been having a problem and then we provide you a solution and it just is an aha moment kind of a thing?
I think that's what you're talking about, Avian.
There's nothing bad about that.
I have that all the time.
That is the beauty of the hobby these days, is that, you know, even if you've been struggling with it for years, right, there's somebody out there with a voice that's going to make sense to you, that's going to make it click, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have that. A lot of us didn't have that. Us old farts.
Old farts.
You know, just kind of stuck in a world where it's like, oh yeah, you know, would have been nice to have YouTube. I love the fact that we can spread the good word.
Yes.
But don't feel bad.
The Frigid Phoenix. Any update on restocks of the Go Bag Evo?
Very soon. We had them at the show.
Mm-hmm.
They all sold out. So, but they are on shipment, or about to be very soon. They were able to finish a portion of the current production run and get us bags for Adepticon. And then the rest of that production run is in process and will hopefully finish here pretty soon and be on its way. So keep checking in.
Brent, happy birthday. Speaking of old farts, it's my birthday today. Going to eat some cake with the fam. Have a great weekend. Hey.
Brent the programmer?
Yeah.
Brent, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Brent. Hopefully you have a great day.
In chat. If it's your birthday, happy birthday to you. If you got a birthday coming up, happy birthday to you. I just feel like I wish we could recognize birthdays all the time, and it's the hardest thing in the world.
Birthdays are tough.
It's the hardest thing in the world. Like, I realized at one point in my life, I got to where I was so beholden to when Facebook told me that people are having birthdays, and then they changed something about, or I clicked, like, don't notify me as much, and then I stopped getting birthday notifications.
Jason.
And then I'm just a horrible human now, is what happened. Like, I can only remember Jen's.
Philip says, I have my birthday this year, too.
It's coming up, isn't it?
I think, Philip, you're just being cheeky.
I don't remember birthdays.
I have my birthday this year as well. Same here. I've got a birthday this year.
You don't really have your birthday, right?
I'm going to be turning 94.
It's your anniversary. It's your birth anniversary.
It's your birthday.
Because it isn't. Your birthday only happens once. The rest of it's just an anniversary.
Derpstick, it's my birthday next week. Got to turn 30. Oh, the big 3-0. That was 63 years ago for me.
How you sweet summer child. 63 years.
Craig says, I had a birthday last year. I don't want any more. Thanks. No, we'll say out your age and the exact amount of life you have on this planet every birthday. We'll make it very evident. You've been on this planet for this much time.
What if you talk about it in the reverse? It's like, hey, only 20 more to go.
Oh, man. Oh, that's funny. Well, it's not really funny. It's funny in a dark way.
Only 20 more to go. Hang in there.
Bridget says, Chris remembers when he turned 30 in 1963. Oh, maybe he doesn't. I don't remember. It was 1963.
Chris is as old as they come.
Mo says, I'm on the downhill slide. Yikes, Mo.
You and me both,
That's
brother.
deep.
You and me both.
And I'm 37 on the cusp of 38. Nice. Magpie, this is my 40th year, and it snuck up. Ooh. 40 is the new 20? I love how people just say that about everything now. It's like, hey, whatever your birthday is, it's like, 57 is the new 29.
Oh.
You could just...
Of course it is.
You can just do whatever you want.
Of course it is. 57 is the new 29.
Flapjack.
Just make it up as you go.
Flapjack. Chris, what was your favorite thing you remember about having in 1963? Yes, it was the year before 1964. That was my favorite thing about the 63.
He asked you about hobbying then.
Asked me about hobbying?
Isn't that what he said? What
no,
was
he
your
just
favorite
says,
thing about hobbying in 1963?
No, Flapjack is asking, what's your favorite thing you remember happening in 1963?
I thought he said about hobbying.
So...
I just balsa wood airplanes.
I remember New Year's Eve when it was just about to turn 1964.
No, you
That was
don't.
my favorite memory.
You don't. You don't remember any of that. None of that's true. He's like 32.
No. Not
He's
even
a young man.
Not even close.
He's a young man. I think Gabe's older than Chris.
Gabe, I think, just turned 64 this year.
So you're Philip's age, and Phil ain't that old.
No, I'm not Philip's age.
You're pretty close.
I'm 10 years older than Philip.
You're such a liar.
What are you talking about?
You went to school together.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we're in the same grade. I remember him as a young lad. Isn't that right, Philip?
Kindergarten?
Yeah.
Because you can't be 10 years older than somebody and had ever been in school with them.
I got
That's not
held.
how that works.
I got held back.
That's not how that works.
That old cat says, I'm 39. Chris held back a bit. That's right. Wow. Yes, I have reverse Benjamin Button disease, chat. It's a rare form of disease.
It's just regular life.
It's just regular life.
That's just how it works for the rest of us.
I got held back 8 times. That's right, Wirehead.
For what?
I don't know. Saying no to the man.
Saying no to the man. You can't hold me down.
We can't hold you down, but we can hold you back.
Oh, I didn't think this through.
Oh. Great segue. We'll be doing our March challenge here in the next 10 minutes or so. So
What?
prep yourself.
Wait a minute. I'm here to paint.
You're here to review and paint, Jason.
Oh, man. I got to stop painting?
You could do both.
You could do both.
You could, technically.
I think you could do both.
Oh, I see. Is this the 10-minute warning? Yes. I just have to get you guys on these warnings now. 10 minutes. Go use the bathroom, I guess.
Is this go use the bathroom?
So did you have to reprime those pants, right? Or you just did, essentially? For what color are these?
I dropped
checkered?
a little bit of primer in there.
Is it going to be blue checkered pants? Or
Some sort of bluish.
Oh, okay.
Haven't figured that part out yet. I'm just base coating.
You mean you don't have this written in stone and planned?
I have a 3x5 card. I have a folder.
You have a faction packet.
I have a faction color packet.
Nice. That would be great.
I have a
You have
color
each
packet.
faction. Chat, hear me out. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go get a
Here he
case
goes.
of the Manila folders. No, I'm being serious. This is
Here
a
he
great way.
goes.
And you're gonna make yourself a physical copy of your army, right? Like pictures, and then you can like do, I don't know where I'm going with this.
He doesn't.
Faction packets
He's
are the
not
way.
lying to you. He
It's
has
hard to
no
explain.
idea what he's talking about.
It's very hard to explain.
It's not really. It's not hard to explain at all if you actually have a plan.
I do have a plan.
You don't have a plan.
When I make the
If you have a
faction
plan,
packet,
then it's easy to describe.
when I make the faction packet, I've got it all locked down. But for painting, that's different. I have to come up with the faction packet for painting, which is probably a good thing to do. It's a great way to remind yourself.
In your faction packet, there is a card
That has all
talks
the paint
about
colors on
all
it.
of the paint colors that you use to paint said faction. It ain't that hard.
Treebeard says, "What in the world did Jason do to his pants that he needs to reprime them?"
Well, okay. So we talked a little bit about how I'm getting older. And part of getting older is the unfortunate world of incontinence.
Okay.
And,
I see.
Have you ever seen Depends?
I
should really be quiet because I don't want to wish that on anybody. Especially not myself.
And 5 years from now, Jason will be pooping himself on stream. Hey, that's okay. It's called convenience.
Just in the middle of the stream, I'll be like,
Dependacryl.
Dependacryl.
Wirehead, that's silly.
Dependacryl.
Sigavac says, I unlocked a new workflow. I started basing models in one step and using some of the transparent expert acrylics for deeper depth without much effort. Nice. It's always
How you liking
fun
it?
when you find out a new thing that works.
One step is tremendous. It is, I think, a real big unlock that can happen no matter where you are in your painting journey. If there's something that's bogging you down, I'm going to throw it out there. I think one step can solve it.
Yeah.
It's as close to a silver bullet as I've ever come across. Watching Mally just be like, yeah, in 15 minutes I did this. And he's all like, I don't understand how that happened.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't just look like, cheap speed paint. And it's hard because, we're in the midst of coming with how we're going to, tell people that specifically and how we're going to show them and how we're going to get the point across. Because so many people, we had a customer yesterday who on the internet, I had to delete the comment eventually because people were getting argumentative on the internet. And that's not what we're about. But he was like, why would you sink to the level of making garbage paint for garbage painters? And I'm like, well, that's not fair to say. You haven't even touched the stuff.
Yeah.
And that's not why we made it.
Yeah. Way to really call out a bunch of people you don't know.
Yeah, right?
Like, seriously.
I'm like, welcome to the internet.
It's just it's not a good thing to say.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. Like, that's not what we're doing. I want to say, well, you say you have all the pro acryl. So have you ever known us to make garbage?
Yeah.
Like, that's offensive. I didn't just want to make garbage to make money.
Yeah.
That's not it. If we wanted to do that, we would have had speed paints a long time ago.
Yep.
realize this has taken us quite a while to determine this was even like something we wanted to do. And the reason for it is because I can use it on filtering over something like this. It's a display model, right? And I use the black filter over the top of this hat that changed my browns tremendously with one coat. Come on.
Come on.
Come on, man. Come on now.
DK, I'm not a, in quotes, speed paint person, but I also want to spend more time on big pieces and less on units. One step is essential.
Well, I'm not a speed paint person. You've never seen me use them. But yeah, it's something where that's why we don't have that in the name.
Yeah, and I'll say this.
Why our commercial is kind of tongue-in-cheek about in a world of haste.
Yeah, and coming from my perspective too, I am not very comfortable with glazing yet in my journey, and I felt like this really helped me understand glazing better.
Well, yeah, it's a filter.
Yeah.
And so how can you, get people comfortable with filters and show them that along the way, if you're brand new, that filter can make your painting that much better right out of the gates.
And it gave me confidence to try glazing with other paint.
Yeah.
So I tried, like, okay, let me see if I could do this with Shadow Flesh by myself without it. And it's like, it got me testing it. So that's my 2 cents on it. General Ginkgo, I was hesitant because I'd never been a fan of speed paints, tried them before judging your guys, and now I own 13 colors of it.
Awesome.
General
That means
Ginkgo.
the world, right? Because you're like, I think, Ginkgo, you're a lot like me. You're finding your way. You're a great painter.
Ginkgo's
and
a great painter.
At the same time, the way these paints have been described to the broader world is that they're for beginners. And what we're trying to tell you is that it doesn't have to be that way. Yes, they're great for beginners, but that doesn't stop there.
Yeah.
They're not just beginner paints. It's the same way I talk in terms of like dry brushing. Dry brushing is a great technique. It is not something you should be afraid of using at any level of painting. It just has things that you have to understand about it that could make it not work as well as you want to if you're not careful, right?
Yeah.
So, these types of paints, I think, have traditionally not been formulated to really grow with you. So that's what we focused on, was to make a paint that would grow as you needed it to.
Just a new tool.
Yeah, just so that no matter what you're doing, there's a job for one step.
Stan says, I remember you saying you came across it by accident. Can you potentially elaborate more to how you realized your accident was actually the next best thing? ?
Well, I can't tell you everything because we're still working on the product that the accident happened out of. We had an idea of what we wanted to make as a product, and in some of the testing, it was taken like 2 steps forward and then a step back. And so we had some things that were happening that we were looking very closely at as far as like, okay, what's keeping this from being what we need it to be? Because it's really close what we were trying. And so looking at it, we kind of broke the formula apart and said, okay, well, I feel like this part is working pretty good, but this part is having problems.
Yeah.
And the part that was working pretty good, when we sectioned it off and started talking about it on its own, it's like, oh, well, even though this idea we had might not work, this part is good.
Yeah.
Like really good. Can we elaborate on that? Can we do more with it? See where we can go? And that just spawned the whole one-step line. It was like, okay, yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
This is something that we didn't intend necessarily to do. But when we started playing with it, it just made sense. It became the right answer.
Yep.
And, in product development, if you've ever been involved or had a friend that's involved in product development and invention, a lot of times you kind of stumble across things while doing other things. I in the kitchen, you can have the same kind of aha moments. Maybe you mess up a spice inclusion in something you've cooked for a long time because you're just kind of running on autopilot.
Yeah.
And you put the wrong spice in it, and you're like surprised that, oh, that actually is pretty dang good. Mm-hmm. And so you then can either create a new recipe out of an old one or alter an old recipe to be new again, that kind of stuff. Same concept here.
Yeah.
Right? Huh. Is that we took an idea that we were working on that we were struggling with and it had some problems, and out of it found, a new way to use the spice, so to think.
I like it.
Doing some sketching on the gray. Can you pop in close?
Mm-hmm. We're just about to start our challenge.
So he
Jason
thinks.
will get to a certain spot here, and
So
then we'll
he thinks.
switch over to the table.
I don't know how to break it to him, but
You don't have to break it to me.
I'm here for me.
I'm here for me.
I'm here for me.
We're here
Chad.
for us.
We're here for me.
And we are here for the people.
Wait a minute.
Wait a second. Avian, we will go over that after the... we'll go over the April challenge as well today. Philip says, all for one and one for one. That one is Jason.
Yeah.
1 for 1 and all for one.
Hey,
No.
did you see that they think they recovered D'Artagnan's remains in France at some, like, buried underneath some
Really?
cathedral?
D'Artagnan.
One of the musketeers.
That's crazy.
They think it's D'Artagnan. D'Artagnan. I didn't check up and fact check it afterwards, but that's what I read. I believe the internet. It was on the internet, so it must be real.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
I grew up loving the Three Musketeers.
Did you like the Man in the Iron Mask, Jason?
Yes.
One of my favorite movies.
Yes, that was a Musketeers movie.
Yep. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, and then there was like the fourth Musketeer where they all died.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just not...
It was brutal for a kid. I was
Yeah.
like, wait. You didn't just kill D'Artagnan, did you?
I know. Yes.
I was like, wait.
Yeah, it's such a good movie.
Like, as a kid, I was not ready for my heroes to die. That's not how that works, right? But then you watch like all the old westerns, spaghetti westerns and stuff, and you're like, oh yeah.
Oh boy, this is the reality now.
Wow, they're just dropping like flies.
Yeah. I get a hankering for one of those every once in a while.
A little bit longer to do this. What are we looking at?
You're
I
fine.
got plenty of time.
You're fine.
I'll blaze through these.
You guys did a great job with the 2-color challenge.
So Christopher says,
I think you did.
don't let him build you up, as I'm about to knock you down. I'm about to put you in your place.
I got a really nice little fun setup over here for Jason today. Hopefully he can...
I'm going to be mean today, chat. I'm going to tell you right
He's
now.
choosing violence.
I'm choosing violence. I woke up and chose violence today.
You want to know what I want to do, Jason?
What do you want to do?
I want to paint a tree.
Just one?
Well, no.
A
wanna paint a
tree?
tree.
Like what tree?
I don't know. I got to figure that out.
We have all those GW trees. We have like 18 million of them.
I
You said
see.
you really like those.
I do like those.
You paint one of those.
Maybe I will.
Those woodland cops.
I like painting trees, chat. I've decided.
What do you mean you decided? We've all known that. You didn't just decide that.
I'm
we all
declaring
know this.
it publicly. I am a tree painter.
You've told
And
us
that's
this
final.
before. You've told us before. This isn't anything
Beautiful
new.
little trees. Paint my trees. Boop, 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 boop. Dee, 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 dee. Boop, 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 boop. Dee, 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 dee. You like that? That's what I,
No,
that's the sound I make when I paint.
because you're AI.
Boop, 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 boop. Dee, 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 dee.
Today, Chris and I made an executive decision that
Yes.
we're going to move the stream to being AI because we feel like AI is the perfect thing for art.
Yes.
And
we have
because it gives
decided.
us more time to like goof off.
Yeah, honestly, with the amount of content we've created, obviously with Jason's lifetime career of streaming, and especially this last year, we could do this.
Right?
Who's to say we're not AI right now?
Beep.
I don't know. Well, I don't know what that was.
I don't know. What
I didn't
that
have a
was either.
stroke.
You did have a stroke.
I had a stroke of genius.
Oh! How thoughtful.
And great segue. We're so glad you're all here. And we're glad we're here in person. Not AI. Even though
We want to get in on AI before the bubble bursts.
Yeah.
That's our corporate initiative right now.
When we decide to make Jason and I AI, I think that's when it will burst. So we're going to hold off.
Oh, it would definitely be like we would one day do that in earnest, and the next day the bottom would fall out. And people would laugh at us.
I would love to get a reaction stream of Jason and myself watching a AI stream of Jason and myself.
Like if MST3K watched MST3K?
Something like that. I don't know what you just said, but yes.
You don't... wait.
Beep boop.
Do you know who Crow is?
I know who Pro Acryl is.
Crow. I apologize, Chad.
Cannibal says, I feel like the solution to AI is AI Chris. I think AI Chris would destroy all AI in general. Beep boop.
Saw a really scary thing today that said AI is already in control, and it had some pretty fun facts that made it seem like, oh, I could get behind this theory.
They're already in control. Lunchbox Superhero, Monument Hobbies VTuber win.
Oh yeah, right. I need like rabbit ears or something. I have a very harsh criticism on people that won't show their face to you but expect you to watch. I always have. I haven't, before the internet. I didn't like Gwar because they freaking wore costumes on stage.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like it. I don't know why. It's just something that I had as a young teen. I was like, we're working so hard here to get noticed and to be authentic, and then there's people in rabbit suits. And it just always seemed weird to me. So, yeah, the VTuber thing doesn't really track well for me.
We'll do a VTuber stream one of these days.
We should. It's like this guy, what's his name? Something Burnt Peanut. He's like the biggest streamer on the world.
It's so silly.
And he is just it's hilarious sometimes, but I'm like, that is not great content.
The world.
The guy.
Hold up. Chris doesn't know the MSCK. No, I am definitely AI. See, Doghouse, you're starting to get it now. I'm not real.
If you were AI, you would know who MST3K is because you'd look it up in the database.
Or would I want to avoid it? Hold on. What button do I do for that?
Oh, my God. That's not the one. That's like the dog with the squeaky toy button. That doesn't even make sense.
I loved it when on April Fool's Day, Chris had a problem with hitting the right buttons because his glasses were a little off.
Oh my God.
That Chai Cat. This is a trick question. Chris hasn't been real this whole time. Beep boop. Where's my touch of bronze? There it is. Courtesy of T. Schmid. Boop.
Just like we did with the leather, I'm just working up the wrinkles, getting some spots in here to have brightness.
Looks pretty good. Are you going to filter this?
Yeah. Yellow.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yellow. So I just chose black and white here so that my yellow stays really vibrant. I could have used some other underpainted colors, but I wanted to show it in just a black and white value sketch here.
Jason, do you want to go over the challenge?
I'm doing it now.
No. I meant April's challenge before the challenge.
So April's challenge is a duel challenge. Yep. It's a you're gonna make a duel.
A duel.
Two fighting folks.
Duel it done.
Let them fight.
It's a duel. Nice.
Let them fight. All right, I'm going over here. Jeez.
Oh, you're going.
Jeez.
Oh. Hold.
Jeez.
Hold.
I'm going. Jeez. I'm going.
There you go.
I'm going here. My mic on. No.
Hold on a second, everybody. Everybody hold on. Hold. Help me. There it is. There it is. Microphone on. Oh my gosh, that was silly.
I just totally cussed him out.
Your microphone might be too loud.
I just totally cussed him out.
How does that sound? Say something, Jason.
I mean, I sound fine.
Okay.
I feel like I sound pretty good. But I just totally cussed Chris out. I totally cussed Chris out. 100% cuss.
All right.
Can anybody do like a bad Seagull's lip reading on what I just yelled at Chris for and post that later for me, please? That'd be great. Thanks.
All right. March challenge. The Discord challenge was the 2-color challenge.
2 colors?
2 colors.
What 2 colors?
Any 2 colors.
Whoa.
You were the one. I'm also making sure if there's some of these. Let me bring this up here.
Whoa.
Confirm. Hold on, everybody.
Whoa. Hold door.
Hold the door.
Hold the door.
Hold the door.
Uh-oh. Are we allowed to do that spoiler?
Oh, I don't. Okay. If you're missing that one, you are out of the statute of limitations has gone up.
Hey, did you know that Han Solo died? His son killed him with a laser sword.
Laser sword.
Laser.
All right, here we go. Alex Kaz, the 2 colors here were Faded Green and Payne's Gray.
Faded green, really?
Yeah.
I like that.
Faded green. How does that look over there, Jason? Can you see it?
The color might be funny, I think.
It might be the picture because I had a little. It was harder for me to see.
You're going to have to just stare at the side of the monitor.
That's okay. That's fine.
I really like it though.
It came out great.
I can see like on the back. I can see a little bit of that. The intensity of the faded green. I'm just not catching the green in the photo. So it might be the exposure's blowing it out. I'm getting a lot of like bright warm gray feel.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, I really dig this. I like the way that the Payne's Gray is used as a shadow layer, but also through the midtones on the fabric, which makes the fabric blue. Right?
Yep.
And then we have that same kind of blue underpinning for the areas that are embossed on her helmet, which is great. This is the artillery witch from Trench Crusade. Little known fact, we were supposed to manufacture this model.
Oh.
But they ditched us.
Oh.
They ghosted us. They didn't even tell us.
Did the artillery witch us?
No. Because we're still here.
That's true.
She drops bombs literally out of portals from hell.
Wait,
I don't know how that works because I thought hell was beneath us.
No, it's the portal. The portal can be from anywhere.
That seems weird.
Nice. Alex Kaz, great job.
Great job on this, Alex.
Off Jenkins.
Ooh, wait. Can I try to pick colors?
Yes.
This feels like maybe warm flesh royal purple.
Off Jenkins, you actually didn't post a picture of those 2 colors, but we can tell that they're 2 colors.
Feels like warm flesh royal purple. Maybe dark warm flesh royal. Not like warm flesh.
It looks
royal
really
purple,
good,
something like that.
Golden brown. Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, golden brown.
Nice.
I
And
like,
royal purple. Off Jenkins, that's great.
I like.
Wow,
I
what a
like
combo.
especially like the hair where we got an almost magenta out of the royal purple in the midtones.
Yeah.
And also on like the cylinder of the spear, right? Where that kind of magenta, you really start to pull out that magenta inclusion in the royal purple, which looks really good. And the golden brown keeps it very warm, which is really neat too. Yeah, and great job again on the skin. Really nice. This is what I'm talking about. There looks like there are so many other colors here just from mixing 2. Again, I should start with the fact that the idea of all of this is to show you the power of limited choice, to make you understand that while I don't think anybody is really going to go out and paint with just 2 colors, every pair of colors in your collection just became more powerful. So if you have 100 colors, you just turn that into 500 possibilities. Just when you start thinking this way, every pair of colors you grab off the shelf to do a red tone on a cloak, right?
Yeah.
Now you'll feel more comfortable grabbing a bright red and a dark red rather than a dark red, a mid-tone, and a bright red. Grab the bright and the dark and work them together. Or maybe don't even grab a bright red. Maybe grab something like tan flesh with a dark red and now get your colors to where you get a much more visually interesting combination of color out of it.
Yeah.
Really,
This
really
is
good.
great.
I like this. I love all the spots of magenta popping out.
General Ginkgo used orange yellow and dark gray blue.
Orange yellow.
Great job, General Ginkgo.
Orange yellow.
Orange yellow and dark gray blue.
And dark gray blue. Very interesting. I would not have picked the orange yellow on here.
Very interesting.
Well, we don't. Yeah. Because that green that you get is really, really intense. Great job. I like it. The dark gray blue is a real big trip for me because of the blue that's reading on the camera here with just a little bit of that yellow in it is really bringing it up into that kind of seafoam area, that dark turquoise kind of. So you get a really good mid-tone blue. I'm not really even reading the dark gray blue anywhere except maybe in the deepest shadow on the cloth of the shirt.
Yeah.
The tunic.
That
Great
looks
job.
great.
Yeah, really great job.
Good stuff, Ginkgo.
Fantastic.
Haley, this one is dark gray blue, and it's a bleached linen from another line.
Okay, cool.
So like almost like an olive flesh.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Really good. You're seeing the power of dark gray blue, right? Because dark gray blue is a really, really, really good color for scaling shadows in, but also has enough blue inclusion that as you start adding other colors, you get all those good midtones out of it.
Yeah.
Whereas a Payne's gray is tougher because it doesn't have enough blue to really give you bright blues.
Okay.
But we even saw with the Payne's gray that really great job done on one of the first models.
Yeah.
I think it was the Artillery Witch. Yeah, great stuff. Picking the blues is a really good thing because you get good depth and they also give you really solid mid-tone. So this is a great job. The Fireball is really done intense because that linen color is close enough to white that you're getting a really good burst of color out of it. I would on stuff like this base, because you're doing a model that has a Fireball, I would back your values down on everything else.
Yeah.
This could be a trust your gut. The model may be reading too bright from your photograph, so it may look like parts of the model are brighter than they really are.
Right.
But I would want to make sure that as we go away from the Fireball, you start building some shadow in, because you can still do that kind of OSL style effect even in this very limited palette.
Yeah.
Start moving towards more of the dark gray blue on his left side. What is his left side? Our right in the photograph.
Yeah.
So that the back side of the legs are darker. Just find your volumes like that. But I love this. I love that it looks like you've done tattoos on it.
Yeah.
Really, really great creativity here with two colors. Fantastic
Great
job.
stuff.
I like it.
Since he did, this one is
Dark purple?
bright yellow ochre, and dark purple.
Yeah, again, look at that green, right? That real greenish undertone from the blues and the purple, working with those yellows. Really, really good. I like it. I mean, you could see doing an entire Tyranid army, do a little bit of magenta wash across the face on this, and then paint the tongue and maybe the hoses on the guns, and you're done.
Yeah.
You know, the base.
Yep.
And you're done. I like how a lot of people took it and even like did the base rim in the yellow on this one. It's pretty funny.
That's a great job.
I don't know that when I was thinking of this challenge that I thought you had to base the base rim with the color either. If all of these would have been black base rims, I wouldn't have called anybody out. I love that I'm noticing that you use the colors and really bought into this 100% on all of it. This one's great too. Holy, you guys are killing it.
Yeah, I'm looking at where Bandman.
He's going to only make me pick one of these too.
Yep. Bandman, what
I'm going to make up a bunch of people to have
find
votes.
Your submission again.
Real news.
Bandman, gotta get that Bandman. One second, I'm still looking for your colors.
I like the spike collar on this guy. It's a brutal dog. Sweet doggo might not been. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, here we go. It is Payne's Gray, bright pale yellow.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Yeah, this is a combination that I use for non-metallic steel a lot, right?
Yeah.
Either Payne's Gray or Blue Black.
Yep.
And taking that and mixing the bright pale yellow into it, and you stop right at the point where you're about to get, which is where it starts to give a little bit of green out of the yellow and the blue mixed together. And mix it makes I don't even know what I'd call that color, but you start to feel the yellow pulling a green out of it, and it's a great place to stop. So great job on this. I'm envisioning Cora, my dog, having this spiked collar on her, and how that would feel when I sit on the couch and she runs up and body slams me. I think I'd have part of my body turned into hamburger meat, I think.
Fallen shots, golden yellow and the Expert Acrylic Prussian blue.
Great choice.
Yeah.
I was waiting for somebody to start bringing out the Expert Acrylics because that's what I would have done in this challenge. Because you get so much pigmentation and the mixes are going to be so vibrant. And this is awesome. Golden yellow especially, right? Because it's just a good center yellow. Yeah. And now look at all the green. Look at the purples we're being able to get out of the Prussian blue, because Prussian blue has a really good, almost violet tone to it.
This is a really cool bust.
And the deepest tones, it's great. Fan-freaking-tastic. Yeah, this is the cheat code right here. I was thinking we'd see a lot of yellow and blue because of the green and the impact that green can have, and you can swing it either to the blue side and it looks like a totally different color, like in the turquoises, or you can turn it into the yellow greens, and you can get a big, broad band of color content out of blues and yellows. And a lot of people have chosen to do that, even in subtle ways. So great job. Never a bad choice.
We then used bright yellow ochre and dark purple.
I love it. This is two of this combo.
Yeah, this is a cool model.
This one even more subtle than the last. I really dig it.
Yeah, good bust.
I really dig it. And you can see a little bit of greening of the flesh as it goes up across the shoulder there and across the clavicle area, which is really cool. Yep. Great use on this one. I think you could have pushed your volumes a little bit more on this bust. Probably more darkness, using a little bit more of the dark purple more aggressively. But other than that, really, really good.
Yeah, Weeden, great job. Love the character on that, too.
This is not really a volume study challenge. This is a use of color challenge. So
orange yellow.
Not going to go too deep in the paint, as it were. Blue, black, and orange yellow. Nice. Also a good one. The blue, black, and the orange yellow is going to give you greens too, what you're seeing, right?
Yeah.
Because the bluish nature of blue, black will help there, but black and yellow typically, because of the opacity or lack thereof on yellows, will start to move towards green. So another way to get a good mid-tone that doesn't feel like it came from the paints you used, right? Really good. I like this.
How's it going, Jen?
I like it, right, babe? People are killing it.
Great job. Doomsday Sprocket.
OMG.
That's an awesome model.
This is just a great use of contrast on this one, too. This is what I'm talking about getting more volumes out of these two colors. Don't be afraid to use them on their own. You don't always have to mix them. You can see the Dark Sea Ben really doing heavy lifting here in the shadows in between the feathers and the sculpt of the body, the volumes of the muscles. Great job. Yeah, really great job. And again, getting that really cool, deep sea green on the shadows, and then lightening that up across the tops of the muscles works really well. Really, really nice. I like, and good choice on bismuth, because it is one of the most powerful yellows when you want to scale it on its own, like you moved out towards the claws and the beak and eyes.
Yeah, great job.
Turn this into a very
cool model.
Visually intriguing model. I like it.
Dyslexic Mini Painter, Dioxazine yellow and primary yellow.
All right, here we go.
Dioxazine.
Oh, fantastic. Yep. Very good. I really like this. This is kind of a very good painterly way to do chromatic black, right? Because the dioxazine violet is going to give you the idea of that deep shadow across the model without looking like you painted it purple. And so this model scales really well. Looks like an old portrait style painting. Really neat. And the fact that you got those cool kind of golden browns out of the violet inclusion in the yellow is great. Really, really good. Great job.
And Christian, submission number 1, white, blue, dark, emerald. Clean looking.
Yeah, good choice. Anything that is, these kind of combos where you're picking a near white are going to be really cool for that monochromatic feel. You're not going to get as much of a mid-tone color that shifts out, like doing the blue, the yellow, and the greens, or the blue-black and the yellows that we've seen that give you kind of a green mid-tone, or any of the other colors. That the real interesting one where we took the was it the royal purple and pulled the violet out of it, or not the violet, the magenta out of it, was really cool. So this is just going to give you a really good monochromatic scaling. Great job on when you're doing this and you're really just looking at a dark tone and a tint, which is a white-ish color. When you scale these two together, make sure that, again, you really do a focus on your volumes to really get the most out of each color. But great job on this. Love it.
M. Christensen. This was, let me double check the colors. It was
Nova Orange?
It was, sorry. I just had it.
Almost feels like Nova Orange and Royal Purple.
It might be Royal Purple and Red Orange.
Red Orange. Yeah, the Red Orange was desaturated quite a bit. Interesting. I'm assuming it was over white primer. Is probably the case.
Yeah, red, orange. It might be, I was looking at the exposure on the photo, it might be that the exposure is a little high, which gets rid of some of that saturation,
yeah,
too.
It could be, but I dig it. I love the way the colors blend together, coming out of the claws on the hand. Really great job moving into the purple. And these are two colors that when you put them together are going to be two totally different colors.
Yeah.
And so blending them together, you're going to get a really cool, depending on how you thin one versus the other. Again, a lot of that magenta will pop out of the royal purple. That'll play a lot along with the red. Good choice. Brave choice, and it turned out really good. Ooh.
Zombie.
Okay, so here is a really, really good way to think about this, is look at it as a dramatic light exercise, less about a mix and more about a focus on the light being colored.
Yeah.
Right? Because here we have that, the firelight, moonlight kind of thing, or, red light on a stage, and then, blue cast from the shadows. Great job on this.
Yeah, it's the Prussian blue and bold pyrrole.
Yep. Yeah, really good job.
Great job, Zombie. Coverwear, dark magenta and bright jade.
One of the best we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Again, two colors that you might not think about mixing, but remember that your reds and your greens being complementaries will allow you to get really good shadow tones out of these.
Yeah.
And then, the bright jade as a highlight over the top, again, gives you a really cool kind of weird lighting effect. Works great. Yeah, great choice. Yeah, great choice on that. O'Connell.
Bismuth yellow again. Dark jade.
You can't argue with bismuth yellow. It's just too good.
Hey, you can't argue with bismuth yellow. You lose that argument every time.
I feel like I just said that. I love it. Choosing when to use the bismuth yellow to pop off all of the kind of electrical effects coming off of the hands and stuff, but then the smoke being in that mid-tone of the green that you get out of those two together works really, really well. Cool. And then a lot of the dark jade in there. I think I would have pulled a little bit more. And again, we never can hold the models here in our hands, so I understand. But, I would use a lot of the volumes of the flowing cape and drape to find a lot more mid-tone in, especially the skirt part. The cape, as it goes back into the background, has got a lot of mid-tone in it. Right by that kind of lightning bounce on his hand.
Yeah.
Look at the helmet, though. The helmet's done really good. A lot of really good material focus on there. And then it's really just a skirt, where the area around the skirt and legs where I lose a little bit of the detail. But great use of color. Great job on these.
Stan.
Cyclops.
Great job, Stan. This one's
cool.
Cold
Black and red. Again,
like
just a really good monochromatic lighting effect, and the model did all the work for you here, right? And not true. You did all the work, but the model being Cyclops with his red eye beams does all the work of telling that story. It really lets you get away with this and not even... You even have the perfect excuse for why the harness isn't yellow. The coloring of the rest of the X stuff is not... It doesn't even matter. Hair or none of it, because you've done such a great job with that spotlight effect with the red. Perfect job.
Yeah, great
really,
job,
really nice.
Stan. Treebeard. Ooh, dark plum yellow green. Love yellow green.
This is just a really, really smart use of colors. This is something you would have painted your orcs with anyway.
Yeah.
So this is really just making it easy, right? Do the dark plum base, glaze some green over it, and then spot the green back in for the highlights. Boom.
Yep.
Done. It's risky because you don't have a bright highlight. The yellow-green itself is still stuck in a mid-tone value, but because the dark plum, you've used it really good to offset it in the spectrum-wise to provide contrast. I think it looks really good.
I love the lava rock contrast you put on there, too.
Yeah. The only thing here is that when using two colors like this, obviously for this challenge, it's going to lack a little highlight, and so the light in the photo is doing the work of the highlight across the forehead and shoulders. Yeah. We don't actually have that color represented on the model, but it shows you how much work you can do before then just having to go in and do a little bit of edge highlighting on the wrinkles and the top of the eyes and stuff like that. So great job.
Xenobond.
Another real really brave like combo. But look at, I want you guys to look at how versatile the royal purple is and how quickly it moves into these really neat reds when you put it with bismuth. Or any of the yellows, because you start playing that magenta yellow mix to give you reds. They're going to be a little less saturated reds because of the nature of blue and the royal purple. But this is fantastic.
Yep. Xenobond, yeah, I definitely like this model too. I'm a sucker for skeletons.
Scorched Earth, you got it right. How in the world am I supposed to pick a winner out of this? This is insane. Chris is going to be mean and make me pick a winner.
For pig bacon. Let me double check the color. It is royal purple and jade.
Jade, yeah, I was gonna say jade or dark jade.
Very cool.
Yeah, on this one again, like the photo on the right is one that's giving us highlight because of the camera flash.
Yeah.
Or the light that you're using. When you look on the left, you've got your values really, really, really dark. So I would say that in this position, try to find, like with the dark plum and yellow green model, try to find a way to go a little bit brighter. So on the orc troll, whatever it was with the dark plum and the yellow green, maybe dark plum, bright yellow green, because you'd be surprised when you add a little bit of the dark plum to the bright yellow green that you get yellow green, or you get something in the same value range as yellow green that does the same work for you, but you also give yourself a highlight. So think in terms of initially when you're picking your color duos.
Yeah.
Pick colors that that when you mix together you'll get a mid-tone out of, and that give you a highlight, right? Or that when you mix, you get a shade, and one of them is bright enough to be a highlight for that shade. So you're always trying, and how can I, when I put these together, get three separate values out of it is a really good way. Mixing two colors together to get a third color is always going to be a value to you, but what we're really trying to get across in this is that two colors can do the work of many, many more when you pick the right value out of them. So that's why when I mentioned this challenge initially, it was like pick something that's a little brighter than you might go with and something that's a little darker than you might go with. And then when you mix them, you get all of the in-between values and hues. So like even something as simple as the black and the red, black can't go any darker than that. Red, while being still a mid-tone color, gives you the ability to highlight what happens between the black and the red. So you can highlight the black red that you get out of those two with Bold Pyro Red and still get a really good value switch. So that's the only thing you're lacking here is a way to go bright. But I love the color choice. Really good. I love that everybody's using royal purple. And jade. Jade is just always the answer. But royal purple is a fantastic color in that regard.
Jasser used primary yellow and primary cyan.
Ooh. Yeah.
It's a very Elden Ring looking model.
I would not have guessed it because the photo's not showing me the cyan. You went really hard with the greens and the in-betweens from the greens and really leaned into the yellow, which is fantastic. Great job. A little bit of the cyan maybe up on the tops of the wings. Some of that could be the photo. It might read more blue where you're at. I would use a little bit of that blue in creating some shadow if you haven't, but it looks like maybe that's the part the photo's missing on it. Showing us. I believe it exists because as I look around where like the wing layers overlap, I feel like I'm getting some of the blue solidly in there. Maybe on the side of that girder or whatever it is he's standing on.
Right.
Yeah, really, really nice. I love seeing this. Great job. And a really interesting character too. I love this model.
I was just about to say, I really dig this one.
Yeah, I love this model. It's great.
The dark plum and bright pale green.
Ooh, nice.
Where's this model from? Do you know?
I do not.
It's super cool.
Yeah, fantastic. Great job. The bright pale green is perfect because it's going to give you just enough of that kind of cool near, I don't want to say near blue, but it's definitely a cooler green. And it does a really nice job of giving you the value that you need. Just like we were just talking about, a bright color that acts as a highlight, but look at all the midtones you're able to drag out of that dark plum.
Yeah.
Fantastic work.
Great stuff.
Pietro, fantastic work.
Magpie number 1. And this one is
Dark hot pink.
It's a wolf gray from another line and dark magenta.
Dark magenta.
Dark magenta.
I like it. Yeah, because with the dark magenta, you probably glazed a lot of that over the top of the wolf gray. And again, had a nice bright color, and then are able to layer the dark magenta in to get the shadows and the midtones going, which is really cool.
Yeah, great job on this.
The wolf gray is neat too, because just like in the previous picture, it gives us enough of a blue hue to it that it offsets the warmth with cool. So you're doing double duty there. You're using color, temperature, and value together to create a story, which is really neat. Good forethought. Love it.
Magpie number 2, Dark Sea Bend, bright pale yellow.
This is just two of my favorite. This is one of my favorite combos.
That's a great.
Two of my favorite colors when doing stuff like this, because again, this can be a really good basis for non-metallic metal.
Yeah.
When you want a little bit more color inclusion in it, the greens and the blues from the Dark Sea Bend are fantastic for steel. When you just want a little bit more attitude with it, this is great. Yeah, fantastic. And great job with the values and scaling it from using the pure Dark Sea Bend in the shadows up to damn near what looks like the pure bright pale yellow in some of the highlights, especially around the eyes and the gills. Great job. You really kill it in the midtones. That's where having a bright and a dark as your duo really makes sense, because look at all the layers of color in between.
Yep.
Good 3 or 4 mid-tone layers there that really bring your blends to life and give you depth and volume on the model. Fantastic job.
Commando Ken.
Commando
blue,
Ken.
Black, fluorescent purple.
Holy risky choice.
This is a great one, though.
Fluorescent, I would not have picked a fluorescent. Very brave. I'll dig it. I would assume that we did over a white primer layer. Because you can tell how with the fluorescent purple is going to give you a very good way to glaze over the blue black. So I love the kind of, I'm always going to call stuff like this like Bale Flame or Witch Flame or something when it's not normal color. It's like magical flame with the purple and the magenta coming off. And then utilizing the blue black as kind of a steel or Under Armour layer is really cool.
Commando Ken said it was over black primer.
How in the world did you get the fluorescent purple to have that pop?
Wow. Over
black. Is that 80 coats?
Maybe it's just the coverage, Jason.
Oh, it doesn't cover that way. That's great. That's insane. It's a lot of paint.
It's a lot of coats.
I was going to say many layers. Yeah, lots of layering. Yeah, exactly. I was like, that's intense, dude. That's rad.
G flat.
Holy.
This one is blue wizard's butt in pale yellow. Blue wizard's butt from the set.
Yep, which is a nice, really dark, sexy win.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Blue, perhaps?
I have no idea what your
A bird told me.
I don't know what your
A bird told me.
If that bird's name starts with a G, we got problems.
Or a J, depending on where you find him in the wild. This is spectacular. Again, like some of the others, I can't drive home enough what you're seeing in these photos that kind of leave you like, what the heck? As soon as you see them, is a very neat dark tone and a very neat bright tone that when you mix them, you get all of those really nice, rich mids. That's why I said at the beginning of this, probably not good to pick white, right? And the black that people have used is very courageous, because black does the same thing when you blend and mix it, is that it desaturates the color that you mix it with. So it tends to gray things out. Same with the white. It just desaturates the color. So here, this color combo is fantastic. Great job. Good textures on this too, just good painterly texture and everything there. All right, here we go, black and white. This is the good old traditional standby when you want 2 colors and you want to do absolutely anything, black and white, because black and white can create every value in between 1 and 10, give you everything you want, and allow you to paint with texture and everything. You're seeing me use it on the underpainting for my vest on our Willy over there. So, yeah, fantastic job. I think you could have stretched more grays out of this, too. I think the wall...
Could have been a little bit more gray.
The wall could have had a little bit more texture and really push it, but great job on this. And don't be afraid in these times to let a lot of the black do heavy lifting. It may be that the exposure on the photo is not allowing the line... I feel like the lines in between the brick are probably solid coal black.
Yeah. It's a little
maybe the rim on the goggle and stuff. So, great job on this. Really, really nice. I like the hook on the grappling hook. Yeah, perfect. The shine on the goggles was really good.
Yeah. Double T. Yellow ochre, Payne's gray. Classic.
Yeah, I think push it more and give me more of that green mid-tone.
Yeah.
Right? Push more of that yellow ochre up into the highlights and give me more mid-tone on this, because great color choice. Right?
This almost looks like there wasn't a lot of mixes, but it was a lot of... just value sketching.
Yep.
Super cool.
You can see, though, how the Payne's gray is not going to give you as many steps of bold green as like the dark gray blue or,
dark
of course,
sea
the dark sea bend, because it leans more green initially anyway.
Cool.
The power of Payne's gray is pretending that it's a black.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Let me...
I see color there.
It is Payne's gray and white blue.
Okay. All right. I like.
Payne's gray, white blue.
Yeah, this is another one where I would say don't be afraid to use more of the natural Payne's gray just on its own, you know? And again, gut check, your photo may be lying to me, but your photo doesn't show me enough of the dark values that aren't caused by shadow of the plastic.
Yeah.
I would like to see more of the raw Payne's gray on this so that you get more of that spread of value and color out of the 2 colors that you're using. Because you're basically using black and white. You're just using a black that tends towards blue with Payne's gray.
Right.
And use more of that in between like the folds of the fabric and stuff like that to give me more dimension to it. But really good combo. This is the combo I use more than just about anything else on non-metallic steel. It just works way too well.
Carson 82. Let me double check the colors.
Somebody's lying to us.
This is dark gray blue.
I'll say dark gray blue and bismuth.
And warm yellow.
Warm yellow, yeah. I was gonna say the people you can't even call it cheating. You know, doing any blue and any yellow is going to give you a great spread. This is perfect.
You're going to get a green in there somewhere.
Yeah, this is perfect. Look at the different greens, though, that we've got. Look at the green as we've done the shell on the back versus the bright green that he's done by adding a little bit more yellow. That's what I say, that when doing blue and yellow together to get all of your greens, you can shift that green in such a wide span with the right color choice that now you have multiple shades of green that work really well together.
Looks great.
Yep. Fantastic. Ooh. Warm flesh.
Warm flesh and dark jade.
Beautiful. And just does a great job of this whole model feeling like it's under the water, right?
I was just about to say, like, it's got a deep sea vibe.
Yeah, very deep sea vibe with those color choices, because that yellow is warm flesh is going to give just enough of like a peachy yellow to the dark jade to give it that kind of sun is off in the distance peeling through water at a deep depth. A great job. And good work with the midtones here and painting of the volumes to give the model shape. Really, really nice.
Wet Gremlin number 1, bismuth yellow and dark magenta.
Oh, this is great because, again, the dark magenta over the top of the yellow just gives us this real punchy red.
Yeah.
Right? Real punchy red. And then even building it up in some of the areas that look like scales along the abdomen so you get even darker there. Yeah, great. You know, both of these colors, the dark magenta can be pretty dark. The bismuth is going to do pretty bright. So while not naturally looking at the two bottles giving you the same as like black and white, you don't think, look at how well they've just separated out the values. The webbing on the wings, yeah. This thing looks like it's just about to spit, freaking lava at you.
Wet Gremlin number 2, bright yellow, green, and bold pyrrole red.
Oh, all right. All right. I like the brown you got for the pants, that fleshy tone on the pants. Green and red give you browns.
Yep.
And really great job getting that vegetable green on the top of the tomatoes and stuff. This is really fun.
I've seen this model. I think this is from Loot Studios.
It's funny. It's really funny.
Yeah, it's a great model. Killer tomatoes.
Yeah, it is like a killer tomato. It's funny.
Moe's Magic. We've got white, blue, and transparent purple.
Ooh. All right.
And if you guys go see, Moe's got one of those OG bottles for transparent purple.
All right. So, over black primer, you chose to do the white blue as your value sketch, and then you did the purple over the black and the white blue to give your values. So a little cheaty, but I like it. And then went back and touched in the lamps with the white blue, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
Good stuff. Jason, that's it.
That's it?
That's it. 35.
Your takeaway from this one should be buy bismuth yellow, dark sea bin, and one of the other like dark gray blues if you don't have it, or Payne's gray. Yes.
All right.
Yes, 100% bismuth yellow is one of the best. Yeah, even Commando Ken, I can't believe how crazy bright bismuth yellow is. It's a great yellow because it has the most opacity of all the yellows, so it's easier to work with when you're doing things like blending and layering. You don't have to feather it as much. You don't have to play around with multiple layers as much. It's a great color.
All right,
it's a little bit of a cooler yellow, so it's not going to be like warm yellow. It's not going to give you that shift, but if you add a little magenta to it, like we've seen in some of these, then it gets warm very, very quick.
All the black is transparent purple. It's not black. Interesting.
Over what?
It was probably.
I guess that's just the photo then.
Yeah.
The photo's stripping all of that out. The transparent purple on the back looks like it's over black, but it gives it a really good shadow, like that idea of coming out of the cave into the low light of the purple moonlight kind of thing. I like it.
Interesting. All right, here we go. I'm going to go this way. Jason, you have to pick one.
And can Jen pick one too? Hi, I'm Jen, and I like to pick a model. How in the world am I just okay, wait. How? Chat, can somebody give me a get out of jail free pass for this one?
No, you're in jail.
Oh, Pietro. So good.
Tough choice, Jason.
This one's really good too. I don't think this is fair. Oh, so good. Kind of like Crupperware. Zombie killed it here. I don't think this is fair.
Oh, it's fair, all right.
No, it's not. I got to pick 50 winners at the celebration at Adepticon. 50.
I know. We have to backtrack.
50.
Too many. You get to pick one.
Technically, it's 10%. So it should be 3.
Oh, 10%?
Yeah.
I don't
We picked 20% of the field, I think, right? 50 would have been 20%.
Jason, you have to pick one. I'll pick one, too. How about that?
It was a little less than 20% of the field. All of these are so good. That Tyranid is really, really good. Oh, my God, Ginkgo. This one's great.
Okay.
Come on, man.
I'm going back. Ready?
All right, well.
Do you want me to pick one first?
You pick one first.
And then you pick one.
And then
So
I'm
we'll
going to
do
pick all
two.
the rest.
I think it's Fallen Shots for me.
Oh, you bastard.
Fallen Shots. I love this model. It came out great.
All right, go back to the beginning.
Fallen Shots, make sure you message me on Discord. Wait a minute. Does Jason own the company? Pick 3.
I'm picking
Fallen
3.
Shots.
Fallen Shots, I'm picking 3. He doesn't get to stop me.
Jason, you can only pick 1.
I pick whatever I want. Yeah, Commando Ken says just pick 50 again.
Pick 50 again.
I feel like 50 is a fair number. There's only like 35 of them, but, whatever.
All right, you want me to rapid go through?
Not like staccato machine gun
You want me to
style,
do
but,
it like
you can go
rapid?
pretty quick. You can go pretty
Bing,
quick.
bing, 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 bing. I'm kidding.
No, that's not.
I'm
My
kidding.
brain, my old adult brain can't even remember that just happened.
Hey, Fallen Shots, make sure you message me on Discord. I'll get your info.
Avian says, let's get a wheel to spin. That's what it should be. Pietro is like, this is really a tough month. Oh, my God. Wait. Back up. This one is subtly one of the best here because I want you to look at how we don't ever really get to the bright yellow ochre and we never really get to the dark purple.
Okay.
We've stayed with a really good value in between all of them.
Sensa. Is this a choice?
This is a choice. I have to. It's just subtly really, really good. It really appeals to my page. I want to let everybody know if this is your first challenge.
This is a tough
Please
one.
don't ever get offended. We call these challenges and not competitions for a reason because a lot of it is what speaks to myself and the other people who might be looking at it, whether it's Chris, Jordan, Grant's done a few, Jen. There are things that as we look through, they just really grab the spirit of the event. And this one, I think, really gives me the feel of a lot more color than what I'm seeing on the table.
Yeah.
So great job on this one, the texture, the whole 9. I would paint my Tyranid army like this and be perfectly happy with it.
Yeah. Sensei, make sure you hit me up on Discord and I will get that info over to you.
This one's great. I have more because I'm the boss. Widans was really, really good with the blends. I just want more volume on it. That one's amazing too. Good God. Why are you people making it so hard? I blame you.
Good. You
I
blame them.
the people.
Jen says, can I pick one?
Yes, you can.
Jen, which one is it?
Please. Which one do you like?
Jen,
I asked if you wanted to. I even used your voice. I said, "Hi, I'm Jen, and I'd like to pick one." That's exactly what she sounds like. It's uncanny. After living with her for 11 years, I can mimic her so well.
Jen, I'm going through them. Let me know
Xenobon
when you want me to
killed
stop.
The yellow and the royal purple are fantastic. Pietro is another one of mine. I love the painterly style. I love the color choice. I love the application. I'm reading brown hair. I'm reading flesh tones. I'm reading the mask being a different color. I'm reading the non-metallic metal on the arm. This is a great material focus. Great painterly approach to it. Great choice of color. All around, just fantastic work, Pietro.
Yes, make sure you hit me up on Discord, Petro.
Great job.
And then Jen.
What, you just robbed a choice from me?
Yeah, that's it, man. You're done.
I get 3. Oh, damn. Jen, which one are you picking?
Jen, which one? I'm going to keep going, Jen. Let me know when you see one that speaks to you. General Ginkgo's.
Ginkgo?
General Ginkgo!
Ginkgo? Ginkgo killed it. Yeah, literally, this one is like a lesson, and I don't even see the dark gray blue in that, but great job. And then I get to pick, is it G flat? I'm picking G flat.
G flat?
I don't care what you say.
G flat.
Is it G flat? There's so many I could pick. Dang it.
Yeah, there is. G flat. There you go.
I hate my job.
You love your job.
I literally hate my job.
Hey, congratulations to everybody.
I gotta tell you, this
Hit me up on
this
Discord if you want.
one-
G flat.
This one really proved that you guys are, I think, paying attention and having fun with it, because there was so much going on here. Great uses of color, great uses of value, great understanding of what we were trying to get across. And my hope is that everyone that took part can raise their hand and say, got it. This just made me a better painter by making every color in my arsenal more useful to me.
Yeah.
Right? And we saw some running themes of things like bright pale yellow and dark sea bend, white blue and another color, a lot of the royal purple. We saw the power of royal purple because it pulls out so much magenta in the midtones to make things interesting. Great use of colors. Basically anything blue and yellow together, just have fun with it.
Yeah. Great job, everybody.
Fantastic.
If you're a winner today, Fallen Shots, Sensei, Pytro, General Gingo, G flat, hit me up on Discord,
And we could have picked 20 more.
and I'll get your info. This was a tough one.
I could have literally picked a dozen more.
Jason,
Easy peasy.
go over April Challenge for everybody.
April Challenge is simply a duel. I want to see you do a scene with 2 models. I want the 2 models to be in a scene no bigger than 5-inch diameter.
Okay.
That's 6-inch. Let's make it 6-inch diameter, just to give you enough to where you could maybe do like the small war dogs or something if you wanted to. I don't want like Night Titans. Nothing huge. Let's keep it small. So no huge diorama platform. I want you to keep it tight and intimate in combat is what I'm looking for here, right? I want to feel the fear of death amongst your fighters. 2 models only as a duel, and it's a storytelling one. That's really all you have to do it. Any color combo, any model, 2 models only. They need to be fighting, and they need to be in a tight and intimate story diorama.
Perfect.
No big
6-inch base.
max. Now what somebody will do is get like 2 epic Space Marines on a 6-inch base, and to where they're 6 inches apart from one another.
I did think about that instantly.
Just to piss me off. It's gonna happen.
No, you could do that, but then it would be a lot of base.
Yes, double T. Duel.
A duel
A
or
duel. It's a
duel?
duel.
It's actually a duelly.
A duel. You don't have to put it on a 6-inch base. You can do it on whatever size base you like that does not go larger than 6 inches in diameter.
But Jason,
Sir.
what do you mean by 6 inches?
6 inches.
But Jason, what do you mean dually or duel?
Yes.
There you go.
Well, you can only have 2 miniatures, so that handles the dual part.
But what if my miniature has 2 heads and is fighting one model that has just one body? Is that technically a duel?
Chat, you see what I have to put up with? Do you see what I have to put up with, chat? I don't know how I do it. Commando can. It's 152.4 millimeters, folks, for those of you in the real world. And not using freedom units.
Freedom units.
There's a guy on that pops up on my YouTube that does woodworking shorts. And he always
it's a great one, too.
speaks about it well, yeah, of course, that's your pick.
I know, this is a good one. I like this
It was
one.
great. It's absolutely
This was
great.
a tough challenge, so great job to everybody who
it was.
had the courage to join in, because this was a great one.
Love it.
You guys did a great job.
Love it. Just use both and learn to convert. Exactly. I know that 25 millimeters is about an inch.
Okay.
It's not exact.
It's
is
about.
the problem. It's about an inch.
It's
So
about
50
an
millimeters is 2 inches.
It's about an inch.
And then you can get close, right? When somebody tells you 150 millimeters, you can go, feels like 6 inches.
There you go.
So What did they say it was? It's 152.4. See, close enough. 2.44 millimeters. Nobody's even going to notice it was missing.
Oh, man.
Nobody's even going to know it was missing. Do you know I have the hardest time with centimeters, millimeters, and kilometers and meters and all that? The base 10 system really messes with me.
Why is
Like
that?
I'll sit there and I'll be thinking, I'll be like, well, how many centimeters is that? And it's like, just take a decimal.
It's just a 10.
Move it. It's easy, man. I never said I was a smart man, chat. As Chris says, we're not here for a good time. We're just here for a long time.
But he's a hell of a painter.
Can you use a banana for scale? Sure. Is your banana 6 inches or less?
Oh, my. There's the banana joke.
It does
in the
not have to be a
joke.
full base diorama. When I say that I want to see a duel, it can be as basic of a storytelling experience as you think it needs to be. It could be 2 models on flight bases if they're flying around each other in a dynamic swarm with no basing material at all. This is how storytelling works, is that it's up to you. I'm just setting the limitations. I don't want the base to exceed 6 inches in diameter because I don't want you spending too much time worried about the environment. I want the storytelling to be in the characters.
Yeah.
Right? I want you to spend time painting, lighting your 2 characters, because you can only have 2, in their fight, and putting them in an intimate, close quarters environment to where you can tell that story at first glance. The bigger the base gets, the harder it is to find what I'm supposed to be paying attention. You can talk about Fibonacci curves, and you can say that, the golden ratio, and I've got my main guy over here kind of off center to the left, and my other guy's way over here to the right, but that's the golden, blah, blah. I don't want to hear about it. I want 2 figures, tight end, fighting, tell me a story, right? Tell me a story. Have me look at it and go, oh, he's got him. He should hit the dodge button earlier, right?
Nice. Cool.
Thank you, everybody. Really, really great stuff. Is it weird that this is like my favorite one?
No.
I literally, I would put some magenta wash on this on the face, and I would call it done.
I was just about to say this
and I
is
would
a great,
not let my base rim stay yellow.
This was a great starter for an armor. Like, you could do all of this bases and then do fine details over this, and that'd be really cool.
Well, the one thing that we're talking about, like you see me doing on Whiplash Willy that I've been painting, is that when you get used to using 2 colors to value sketch and find your volumes, now you can filter a third completely different hue and changes. This whole model could have a blue filtered over it and become something completely different. Could have a magenta filtered over the whole thing and become something completely different. So it can allow you to find ways to paint for value and temperature, because a lot of times we saw cool and warm. We saw yellow highlights and a cooler color like purples, dark purples, things like that, like we're looking at here in the shadows. Those can set the contrast and color temperature on your model, and then you can filter the color that you really want it to be. Like, you could filter a green or an orange or anything over this and turn this model completely different and have really good fun with it. So lots of room to grow from the experience of using 2 colors. So it's not just a limited palette for the fun of it. It's limited palette to show you how interesting and important every color you pick can be, but not necessarily for the color itself. You can grab a blue and not worry about ever seeing blue on your model, because you can mix it with another color to get a really, really neat green, or filter over it so that it just adds a cool tone to whatever your filter is. So great stuff. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Really love the monthly challenges.
This was Mini of the Month.
Mini of the month? What do you mean?
Does GW, I think, give away something at a store?
Oh, maybe.
I think that's what Mini of the Month is.
Oh, I don't know.
Sensi. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I thought
Great. This is a termagant, right? Hormagaunts claw you to death and termagants shoot you.
GW does that. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Nice. Nice. Chris is going to throw some chats up for you. Some links. You're going to click them. That's what's going to happen here, chat. You're going to click all those links. If you can click them all at once, that'd be really cool. I think the universe collapses in on itself if you pull that off, but we'll know here in a second if somebody can do it. If you were to connect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mice to your computer and called 2 of your friends over, could you click all those links at the same time, or does the world end? because you need 5 arms, so that's 2.5 people. If you all clicked, what would happen?
Well, you wouldn't be everybody wouldn't be clicking all at once.
What if they did?
They wouldn't be able to time that out perfectly.
Oh, sure you could.
I don't think so.
Humans are amazing creatures.
I think there's too much fallacy.
What did you call me? Everybody, thanks so much for hanging out. If you're new around here, please hit the follow button or the subscribe button if you're watching us over on YouTube. We do this, believe it or not, 5 days a week.
That's right.
I know, it's insane. Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. right here from Monument Hobbies HQ or Sub HQ now here in Phoenix, Arizona. We'd love to see you back, so hit that follow button, get the alerts, do the thing. I'll be here Monday and Tuesday next week.
Yep.
And then it will be Christopher and El Giordano LaFontaine, perhaps?
That's right.
There'll be some Giordano LaFontaine in your future next week. And,
he's going to be showing off a bunch of one-step next week.
Woohoo! What's he painting? Star Wars?
Oh,
StarCraft.
Yep.
We've got some really cool StarCraft coming.
A lot of you have been asking, are you going to paint StarCraft? Are you going to paint StarCraft?
Yeah. You know what? I was looking, and the Archon guys are asking me to do something, so we'll bring some in.
They're pretty cool.
You know what? They need more factions.
Oh, I agree.
That's when everybody yells at me. It's like, do you know anything about StarCraft? There are only 3 factions.
I know, but they
need more factions.
They could have more factions.
They need more factions. The bugs,
Zerg.
I'm painting some Zerg.
Zerg is cool.
I need some Zerg.
Well, Baby J did one of his Tyranids in a Zerg palette.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool because now he can actually paint Zerg. Actually would be cool.
I was looking at the Zerg models and I like the Kerrigan one, but I also like all the bugs. They're better.
They're cool.
They're like better Tyranids.
They're
to some extent
very cool.
They have some fun stuff. Yeah, so it's really good. So we'll see.
Gonna be painting
but anyway,
some of that.
Babe J will be painting some for you next week. That'll be good. I'll be here Monday and Tuesday. Chris and I will be carrying on with Whiplash Willy. So thank you so much. Make sure to join our Discord. Check out the store. Buy some Pro Krill when you get a chance. Keep on hobbying and stick around. Chris is going to show us somebody to raid. So have some good hobby as you go off into your Friday night. Have a wonderful freaking weekend.
Yes.
We are coming off a super high of Adepticon into this week. Much love out to everybody that came by and stopped by the show.
Yes.
If you didn't get a chance to go to Adepticon this year, start putting it on your calendar for April 7th through the 11th, 2027, where the Miniatures as Art celebration is going to go absolutely nuclear. We're going to have a fantastic year next year. All the kind of vibes that you see in these challenges, it's just tenfold that, and we'd love to have you. So start your planning. But have a wonderful weekend. Don't do anything we wouldn't do. We'll catch you on the flip side, gang. Adios.